Hello, in this video we're going to show you how to assemble this nightstand. This nightstand uses Walker Edison's new easy assembly technology, which means you can say goodbye to frustration with 45 minutes or less to build and no stress required. Before we get started, here's a few things to keep in mind. Make sure you have a Phillips head screwdriver, 2 people can be helpful, and just make sure all the pieces are facing the right way and you'll do great. In this video, we're going to focus on the trickier parts and go quickly through the easier steps, so just make sure you pause the video and complete all the steps as we go. So let's get into it. In step 1, we're going to put cam bolts into piece 1. Next, in step 2, we'll set this piece aside and grab piece 2, and we're going to attach the feet. So we'll take our bolts and we'll put the little lock washer on first, and then the bigger washer on second. And then 2 of those will go into each foot on the corners. And then you can tighten those completely with the included hex key, but I'm going to use the hex bit on my screwdriver. Okay, next we can move on to step 3, and we'll just turn this piece over and put in 4 cam bolts. Okay, we're good to move on. In step 4, we're going to put dowels into pieces 3 and 4. And for this, we're going to take our tube of glue and put a little drop of glue into the holes before we put the dowels in. And once the dowels are in, we'll put in 2 cam bolts. Next, we can move on to step 5, and we'll put dowels into pieces 5 here. And these will go into the holes on the unfinished side. And we'll do the same thing with the glue. Next, we can move on to step 6 with pieces 3, 4, and the 2 5s that we just put dowels into. So with piece 4 on this side and piece 3 on this side, we're going to stand them up. And then with these pieces 5, we just want the dowels to be facing outwards and these cam lock holes to be facing in towards the middle of the nightstand. So like that on that side, and this side, the dowels will face out and the cam lock holes still facing inwards. And then we'll lock those in place with cam locks. And we'll lift up piece 4 and insert this side. And then next, in step 7, we're going to flip this part over. So piece 3 should still be on this side and piece 4 is on this side. And then when we stand this piece up, we just want the curve to line up here. And then we'll lock those in place with cam locks on the inside. And next we can stand this piece up. Next, in step 9, we'll take our back panel and unfold it, and with the tape side facing back, we'll slide it in. Next, we'll put on the top of the nightstand. And again, just make sure that the rounded edges line up with the rounded edges on the front. And then we'll put cam locks on the inside. And then next, in step 11, we'll put 3 screws into the bottom of this, and just make sure not to over tighten these or else they could puncture through the top. Okay, we're good to move on. In step 12, we'll put stickers to cover the cam locks. And in step 13, we'll put the plastic wedges in the back panel, but we're going to move on to steps 14 through 23 and assemble the drawers. These drawers feature our new easy assembly technology, and having built a lot of drawers, these really make it go faster and it's a lot easier. So we'll show you how to do it. So to start, we'll take the back piece of the drawer that has these new latches on it, and these just flip up and down to lock the side pieces in place. So with this groove facing inwards, we'll take the sides of our drawer that have the corresponding holes here that line up with the latches, and we want this bottom groove to line up with this groove here. So we'll flip up these latches so that these pegs can go into the side, and make sure to put a dowel in also. And then those will line up with that. And then once that's seated in place, just flip those latches down and that will lock it in place. Then we'll take a dowel and put it in the other side as well. And then these holes also line up here. And then we'll lock those into place. So it's really easy, and you don't even need a screwdriver for that part. Then we'll take our bottom panel and slide it into the groove. And then we'll take our front piece and do the same thing with the latches here on the inside. And just make sure that this groove also lines up with the bottom panel here. And also don't forget the dowels that go here. And then once all of those latches are locked in place, we have our drawer. Real easy, real fast. And then next with this drawer, we'll take our front handle and put the screws through the inside. And then we'll tighten those completely with a screwdriver. So now that we have our drawer done, we can go ahead and insert it into the sliders. We'll just line up the rails on both sides. Then we'll push that all the way in, and it should lock into place. Now, if you run into the issue that you have a large gap here, that just means that this piece is upside down. So you'll just have to go back to that step and just flip it over. But if you don't run into that issue, you did it right. So I'll go ahead and do the other two drawers, and then we're done. We hope this video was helpful for you in assembling your new nightstand. For more guides, tips, and tricks, go to walkeredison.com.